Hello and welcome everybody to Encounters. My name is Carface. Now this is the Construct Guide. We'll be going over how it works. So Construct's basic, special, unique, and ultimate attacks. Now before we go into that, I'm going to talk about the Construct group. Now the Construct group has two main functions, mainly to help new Construct users, people who want to play Construct, pick them up, or just want to know how to even counter him. Yes, people who want to know how to beat Construct can join the server. Now, if you need help how to get better Construct, the server is your place, because this will be the fast track. The video will be the fast track, but the Discord server will be more on specific information tailored to users, because we can gauge more accurately how each player plays and what kind of information they need to become better at Construct. And the group also participates in clan wars. So clan wars is essentially where a whole bunch of other groups come together and fight. Now there might be rewards for the winner clan. So come to the Construct group, there is no real requirements. It's just first come, first serve. So don't be afraid, just ask to join and you'll be a part of the representative team for clan wars. Now that's out of the way, the TLDR is the Construct group participates in clan wars and also helps people become better at Construct. Alright, now we'll go over his basic or M1. Which this move is essentially him swinging left, right, down, which is a sequence of order which you're going to have to remember, which isn't that significant, but if you want to min-max Construct, there you go, that's information you have. And now his damage is 18, and he consumes 25 energy or stamina, as people call it, and gives you 20 charge, and deals 25% knockback. Now before we go into the hard stats, let's talk about the soft stats, the hitbox and the active frame. So the hitbox will give you an advantage over opponents, because you outrange them, because your moves are lackluster in every regards compared to your direct opponents such as other melee characters, so your hitbox is your only real advantage against these people, and against other people too. This is Construct's shtig, his hitbox. So try to keep enemies right in that perfect juicy range of a little bit in front of you, but not too far where you'll miss, and not too close where they'll hit you too. So just keep them in that nice balance range. You kind of have to figure out, you just have to kind of figure it out. But a nice visualizer will be at the tip of your hammer. Now the hammer has no tipper, so there's no extra damage hitting it at the top, but it will give you an idea of your max hitbox line. So using that, you can visualize your hitbox and you kind of keep your opponents there. If they get too close, you can kind of dash away and continue using your hitbox advantage. Although keep in mind, it doesn't always work out like that. It's just a nice way to understand that you do have the hitbox advantage. So don't feel threatened to get super close. Try to keep the enemies slightly in front of you, far enough away where they can't hit you, but try to do it so that you can hit them. It won't always work, but keep in mind you do have the advantage. Your hitbox is bigger than theirs. But there are very few characters that do have a bigger hitbox than you. So do keep that in mind. But again, with most of the characters in the game, you outrange them with your hitbox, for most of the melee rangers anyway. Now the other soft stat, which the game doesn't tell you, is the active frames of the attack. Now Construct has quite a lot of these, so you can kind of cheese out last frame attacks. But again, don't attack shielding opponents because it's not that massive, it's not that insane. But it's nice enough where you can kind of swing and have confidence, where if you swing smartly, you put some thought into that swing and attack, then you will most likely hit it. Again, they can come back to bite you if you use your ultimate. We'll get into that when we're actually talking about the ultimate. But the moves essentially have nice active frames, so you can kind of hit people through shield, quotation marks. Obviously it's not through shield, but if they try dashing or side dashing, it's a nice little counter to that. It's like a few moves are good against these things. Construct M1 or basic, the Construct basic is good for this, semi-good for this. So do keep in mind that if an opponent's trying to shield dash, which is shooting and dashing towards you, it's not the end of the world. You can kind of swing your hammer, retreat, and you can still hit them because they come out of shield. And you have a lot of active frames, so the move is still alive and active when they come out of shield, so they get hit. But also there are phantom attacks where you swing, it says you hit, but you do no damage and get no charge, so that does happen quite a lot with Construct, so do keep that in mind as well. Now with the soft stats out of the way, we'll be talking about its damage. Now Construct's damage at 18 is pretty nice. It's more than most hybrids and range. The only thing that out damages Construct is other melee users. So just other pure melee champions out damage Construct, but you can still have pretty nice matches and out trade them because 2 damage isn't a lot. Obviously after multiple dozens of hits that does stack up, But with Construct, you can kind of fight them somewhat on even ground because of your hitbox advantage. Now, because of Construct's energy, or what people call it stamina, makes him a burst character, or really just a one-off hit trade character, because he can't really go on an attack because he has too much stamina consumption to really just engage for too long, because he takes too much stamina, so he just ends up losing all the stamina, and he's just dies because he takes too much stamina. So what needs to be done is he just comes in, bursts an attack, and then just retreat, or do a couple hits and then just kind of follow the enemy and shadow them, because you still do a high damage. 18 damage a hit is still pretty nice. Construct's charge is more a placebo effect than it is actually telling the truth. 20 charge is nice, but compared to other champions which can rack it up faster, or rack it up at the same rate but take more charge every hit, it just leaves Construct in the average section. Construct is really more average when it comes to getting charge, but just because he's an all-around kit, all his moves give him 20 charge, it kind of levels out, which is why he's average. So other champions really get 10 charge incredibly fast, or 20 charge a little bit faster than Construct. So he's not lagging behind or anything, it's just he is more in the average zone. And all of this is statistics for Construct. He's more in the average or slightly below average, but overall it's not weak, it's decent, but it's just not as good as you might think. So with that, charge really has nothing else to be said about it, but knockback, it's a pretty weak part of Construct's kit. 25% knockback is actually a little bit sad, because for how much energy it takes, for how big of a character, for being a melee, it's really, really low. Every other melee in the game has more knockback than Construct by quite a bit. So again, Construct is a bit weak in the knockback regard, but he is not, lacking just an unweighted power. 25% is still decent. It will not kill the opponents. Like other champions, like my other melees, have really good low damage kill potential. Construct just can't do that unless he has his ultimate, but overall, he's just not that good. He's adequate, is what I'm trying to say. He is adequate with knockback, but it isn't superb in any regard. Construct's special, or M2, does 20 damage, consumes 70 energy or stamina, gives 20 charge, and deals 50% knockback. Now, right off the bat, Construct's special takes too much energy to have his damage or knockback to be good by any standard. Now, the damage for 70 energy is below average. However, this is not the strong point of Construct's special attack, and the knockback is average for how much stamina it consumes. Now, the big point about Construct's M2 is that it has super armor, so this prevents you from taking any knockback, and this is the main reason why Construct's special attack is good. And you can use Construct's special to negate knockback from moves that are otherwise unblockable and unavoidable. So do keep in mind, if you see a big charge move happening, you can cancel the knockback with using your M2, and if you're close enough, you can punish the opponent, or at the very least attempt a counterattack. And a devastating combination with Construct's special is using the ultimate right before you use your special attack. So if you do get a successful hit in, it will be a massive blow to the opponent and can turn the tables in your favor. Now, this is what makes Construct more of a tank, because you can also regen stamina during your dash. So for your entire dash, you regain 30 stamina. You gain 20 while you're in super armor, but you gain 10 during the end leg where you're vulnerable to enemy knockback. Even though you do regain stamina during this attack, it's not meant to be spammed, as it's meant to be used to reverse pressure or relieve the pressure from yourself. Now again, the hitbox with Construct special is quite big, and that's the advantage point. And if you manage to pull it up properly, there's quite a big hitbox behind the user, so you can manage to kind of dash forward but still manage to hit them when they're behind you. Now, this is not a guaranteed attack with the hitbox, but it is a thing that exists, so try to use it to your advantage, because you do have a pretty big rear and frontal hitbox, mostly with the rear though. So with comparing this move with other attacks, it doesn't really hold up, as its base stats are quite average or below average. However, its ability with super armor makes this move incredibly good and all of a sudden makes it an average move into a powerful move. But do be careful with this, because this is not an overpowered attack or something that you can do consistently and reliably. This is more of a get out of jail free card, and you can't constantly do it without the opponent adapting to that kind of play. However, don't be timid when using this attack. Go all in, be confident, otherwise it won't be as effective as it could be. Now we'll be talking about Construct's unique mover, E. Does 15 damage, consumes 25 energy, gives 20 charge, and deals 50% knockback. Now, the big point with Construct's unique move that I'm going to point out right now is that it launches you vertically, not horizontally like the other two moves in his kit. However, when he uses his ult, it makes the move hit horizontally, and we'll get more into that when we talk about the ultimate. But as of right now, this is the only move that hits you vertically. And also one of the only moves in the entire game purposely designed to launch a user upwards. Construct's unique attack also acts as a combo extender, as you can use a basic M1 and a unique E to just repeat it. M1E, M1E, as long as your stamina provides you the ability to keep doing it. Now the damage for this attack is actually quite mediocre. 15 damage for 25 stamina. This move is not to deal damage. It can deal nice damage, as 15 damage is no joke. However, for how much stamina this takes in the entire build of Construct, this is not a damage building move. Instead, like the special I was talking about, this move is incredibly good at removing pressure as it launches a user upwards. Now, this can be used in various tactical ways where an opponent's low stamina and you punish them, you launch them upwards, you regain stamina, and then you go ahead and just have the stamina advantage and then just beat them with them in the air. Now, sometimes you do have to be careful with Construct's unique, as sometimes when you're hit while taking knockback, you can't recover properly as your dashes do not work. So be careful while using Construct's unique while taking knockback, as sometimes your ability to recover may be negated for a short period of time. Now, with the good news about Construct's unique is that his E, or unique, is also a vertical wall. Essentially, enemies cannot jump above you unless they're way up above you or they're behind you, but there's a way to negate that weakness, where you do a quick 180 and hit them with your attack still active. Overall, Construct's unique is not a mainstream attack and not that good compared to his other abilities, but it does have its niche properties which allow it to excel with the other two moves that Construct possesses. So now we'll be talking about Construct's ultimate. Now, Construct's ultimate deals 40 damage, consumes as much energy as any other move in his arsenal because it's really an empowering passive move, and since it's the ultimate, it takes no charge, and it deals 100% knockback. Now the ultimate is really good for punishing people and really killing them, and it's the big kill move in Construct's arsenal, which allows them to kill quite quickly because of how fast you can gain the ultimate. Now it's not as fast as a few other champions, but it can be quite quick because of just how uniform all the moves in his arsenal are with charge. They're all 20 charge per hit. Now, as I've mentioned with his special attack, if someone tries to attack you, you punish them, and right before you hit them with the M2, you activate your ultimate and you hit them with that massive damaging move. Or you can use the end of your combo where you use 1E, so they're in the air, so they cannot regain stamina, and then use your M1. And if you played, if you've been knocked back very quickly, if you're on the ground while being knocked back, you still gain stamina, while if you're in the air, you don't. So hitting them in the air, then using your ultimate can be quite an advantageous tool for you, because they just can't recover because they don't have as much stamina as they would have. If they make massive stamina plays and you hit them with your ultimate, it's almost a guaranteed kill because they don't have to be that far off the stage if they have 20 or 30 stamina left. Now essentially the ultimate can be used at the end of any sequence of attack because it's just an empowering move. It has no special property of its own. And do keep in mind, with its E, it doesn't knock the enemy vertically, it knocks them horizontally. So that kind of negates that special E niche, but knocking them upwards would be drastically worse than hitting them horizontally. And even though you do get 10 seconds of being empowered before you can hit somebody, the best course of action to use with this move is right before you hit somebody is to activate your ultimate, so they have no chance of reacting to the attack. However, it can backfire because if you're about to hit them and activate your ultimate and you end up hitting their shield or hitting their side dash or just hitting some move that does no knockback, then well, that was a waste. However, it's good to read the enemy attack and adjust to that and then activate your ultimate right before you hit them to deal massive damage. And you may surprise them because they may not even see your ultimate activate, and if they do, it'll be for a split second and they won't even realize what happened before it's too late. Now, with this being said, this is the end of the Construct guide. So if you want more specialized information, join the server. And again, with the server, you can participate in clan wars. This clan will be participating in clan wars. So you can join up. It's free, it's easy, and it's first come first serve. There's no real requirements to be in it. So don't worry. And if you still have questions, you can ask anybody who's Expert Construct Plus in the server. They'll answer your questions. So this is just a guide with a fraction of information that you can obtain by joining the Discord server, the Construct group. So if you're still fascinated to learn more, become a better Construct, well, I look forward to your presence in the group. Alright, so that'll do it for now. And as always, I will see everyone in the next one. Bye!